Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing this fun inspired makeup look. I just was going through my palettes and I noticed that I have not done a colorful look on my channel in a very long time. So, like I said, I was just flipping through my palettes and I kind of got inspired. I was swatching some shadows and I swatched this lid shadow and I was just like, how have I never used this in a tutorial yet? I'm not sure how. I have kind of just like missed it. As you guys will see in the tutorial, it is Makeupgeek's Kaleidoscope. It is this shadow right here. It is a foiled shadow from Makeupgeek. And it's also, I think, holographic. So it kind of just reflects a bunch of different colors depending on like what is next to it. So I could have done like blues with it, but I decided that I wanted to do some purple. And I am very happy with how it came out. On my lips today, I am wearing the new Anastasia lip palette, so you guys will see that in a tutorial. I was thinking about doing like a full dedicated swatch video to it, but then I was like, I don't know if that's something you guys want to see. I know that there's probably a lot of them circling the internet right now, so I didn't know if you guys wanted me to do one, but if you do, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I will do like a full swatch video of that whole entire lip palette. Another thing I want to show you guys is I waxed my arms finally. It did not hurt nearly as bad as getting like laser done on my face. Another reason why this is kind of growing in a little bit is because I am waiting to shave because the hair is starting to grow patchy in some places, so I wanted to wait to make sure that I got like the cleanest shave. So that's why I waited, and I really was inspired to film today, so that's kind of like why I didn't shave previously to this. So if you guys are curious as to why I have like a little bit of stubble, don't worry about it. We're rolling with it, okay? So, that is all that I have for this intro. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys want to see how to achieve this really colorful and highlighted and glowy look, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so jumping right into this tutorial, we are using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in medium brown. I am lightly going to fill in my brows. That is something that you guys have been liking lately, where I kind of just barely have any product in my brows. It's a little less harsh and a little bit more natural. I decided to film my brows today on camera, which I normally don't do, just because I feel like it gets a little overly done, a little bit repetitive, but I thought because I changed up the way that I'm doing my brows that I would kind of show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm first just taking the pencil and kind of drawing underneath the brow, kind of just to give it a little bit of structure. And then I'm just taking it and lightly filling in the sparse areas on the top to kind of just give it a little bit of shape. Other than that, I'm not really filling in the center. I feel like my brows are pretty thick and they don't need to be any like harsher than they already are. And I kind of wanted to go for more of a natural feminine look now instead of like a harsh brow. But I'm still going to be taking some concealer and I'm going to be cleaning it up. I think that this is a very super important step. Even if you lightly fill in your brows, or even if you don't fill in your brows and you just want something to look a little bit more clean, I definitely think it helps with making the eyeshadow just look stand out a little bit more than if you didn't do this. And it also helps with cleaning up the brows and just making them look very sharp and very clean and like you took your time and put the look together. So I'm just taking this concealer brush and going right up to the brow. Then we're jumping in with this Makeupgeek Shadow in Fairytale and a Sigma E38 brush. I do have a coupon code with Sigma, and it is just going to be Brandon. Just use that at checkout for 10% off if you guys are interested in any of the Sigma brushes I've ever talked about. And I'm just blending this from inner to outer corner. As you guys see, purples are very like patchy and very hard to formulate, so I'm just going back and forth, really trying to build up the pigment to what I want, and I go in with a ton of purple shades just to kind of build up the pigment and get the kind of desired look that I'm going for. And then the next shade we're going to go in with is Makeupgeek's Curfew and the same Sigma E38 brush, and we're just going to be pressing this in the outer corner first and then dragging this through the crease. As you guys see, it kind of is still very patchy, but we are getting some depth in there. That's why I went in with a lot of purples, because I knew that they were going to be patchy. So if I wanted to get the depth and like the normal like eyeshadow looks I usually do with like that like really cut crease, not cut crease, but that really like defined crease, then I would have to go in with multiple shades. Then we're going in with Motown and this Sigma E25 brush and really just pressing this in the outer corner and dragging this through. This is what's really going to give us the depth of the eye, because this is a more of a deeper purple shade, and this is the deepest purple we're going to use. Then we're going to be taking this lid shade on this Sigma concealer brush, and we are using the shade Kaleidoscope from Makeupgeek. This is a foiled shadow, and I also think it's a holographic or whatever term you want to use, but it does reflect multiple different colors. And then we're using that Sigma E25 in that Motown shade and just packing the purple in the outer corner and then dragging it through the crease. As you guys see, I will leave the inner corner kind of like a cut crease, and then I will make the ends kind of like a blown out smoky eye. I'm just feeling that. I don't know why. It's kind of just like, I think it's really pretty because it's kind of like structured in the beginning, and then it just blows out to like this really defined and diffused smoky eye. And I'm completely and utterly obsessed. And then just doing the same thing, taking the E25 and blending that out so there's no harsh lines in the outer corner. Then we're going to be doing skin. I did apply some Flutter Lashes. I don't remember the exact name, but they will be down in the description bar. And then we're using Benefit PoreFessional and just really pressing this into the skin to make sure my pores absorb this and the foundation will look as smooth as it possibly can, and it will lay really nicely. Then we're mixing the two shades 105 and 102 from the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, which is one of my favorites. Honestly, it is beautiful, very full coverage, matte, and it's very lightweight, so it doesn't feel very heavy on your skin. So I'm just dotting this around. This is the best way that I like to apply it. I will dot it around my skin, and then I will take a super damp beauty blender and I will blend it in. And what I mean by super damp is I used to take my beauty blender and kind of wring it out in like a towel to take away some of the water. And I would notice that throughout the day my face was getting cakey, and it just wasn't as smooth as I thought it could possibly be. So lately I have been just kind of wringing it out with my hands and then just using it when it's super damp. And the cake face throughout the day has kind of stopped. And it has kind of just made my foundation look so smooth. And it's like effortless. I will wear it throughout the day and come back hours later and the foundation is still very smooth. It's not like bunching up or kind of like absorbing the powder and making it look super cakey. As you guys see, I felt like it wasn't damp enough, so I sprayed a little bit of water and I'm just pouncing the beauty blender all over my face. You want to make sure you pounce and not swipe because you don't want to move the product around. You just want to push it into your skin. Then we're going to be taking my favorite concealer of all time, which is the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer in the shade Light Neutral. We're going to be taking this 1 or 2 shades lighter than our foundation color, just because it's going to give us that highlighted effect. And I'm going to draw it down the side of my nose and then drag it backwards. That's just going to kind of give us the appearance of a higher cheekbone, which is a more feminine look, and it will kind of round the face out a little bit more. Because I do have kind of a long face, I wanted to round it out. Then we're going to be using the concealer on our chin, down the bridge of our nose, and the center of our forehead, because we are going to be cream contouring today, which I have never done here on my channel. And yeah, so we're taking the LA Girl. This is just a dark concealer, and it's a little bit warmer than I had wanted it, but I really wanted an overall bronzy look, so we're applying it to the temples and underneath our cheekbones. And you want to make sure you blend this out pretty fast. That was kind of like a mistake that I made. I didn't blend it out fast enough, and it kind of got a little bit like hard to blend, so I was like pushing it into my skin. And as you guys see, my camera's going to cut out a little later, and it's not going to show me blending out my concealer, but you guys know that. And I do set my under eye with the Covergirl translucent powder, and I do set the bronze, like I do set the cream contour with Hoola bronzer. So that is what we're missing from, I don't know what happened. I think my camera just shut off, but that is what we did. And then this is where it's going to cut out, as you guys are going to see. And then we're going to be using this blush shade from the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't remember the exact name. I think it's Amaretto, and it's super pretty. And we're going to be using Champagne Pop. And then at the end, I do decide to mix a little bit of Prosecco Pop in there at the high points, just to kind of give me that extra glowy look. But I'm using the Anastasia A23 brush and applying this on the high points of my cheeks. I will also be applying this to my chin and my nose. I overall wanted a very glowy look today. I felt like I have not done a glowy look in a very long time, so why not? Actually, that's a lie. I do a glowy look every time here on my channel. Like, I'm so obsessed with highlight and glow. So I applied it on my chin, and then I'm going to take my finger and apply it to my nose. I feel like the brush would not get it as precise as I want it to, and it would just kind of apply it all over my nose and make me look like the Tin Man, and that's really not what, it's not what we're going for. And then we're going to zoom back in and finish up the eyes. I'm taking this Makeup Geek Full Spectrum Eyeliner. I don't remember the name, which is terrible, but I will leave it down below. And I'm applying this in my waterline. I wanted to stick with the color theme of the look. and I felt like applying this in the waterline would kind of bring this tealy aqua blue shade out in the lid shadow, and I'm completely obsessed with it. And then we're going to be taking an E15 from Sigma and that Motown shade, and we're going to be applying this right towards the lash line, and then we're going to be blending it out. I love smoking out my lower lash line. I think that it really opens your eye and really makes and completes the whole entire look. It's not something that you guys have to do, but it's just something that I prefer to do on myself. Then we're going to be taking the shade Fashion Addict on a Morphe E18, and that's just a pencil brush, and we're going to be blending this out. I really wanted to stick with the purples, and I dragged this a little bit far down, but then it just kind of opens the eye a little bit more, as you guys are going to see. My eye kind of just looks super open and awake, plus that blue shade in the inner corner really helps. Then we're using Benefit Roller Lash and applying this to our lower lashes, and then we are going in with the lip palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm using this kind of nude shade, and I'm going to be outlining my lips. Another thing, my camera cut off at the end, which is great. I don't know what was going on with my camera, but I'm just outlining my lips as normal. And then I decided to take a little bit of the white and just apply it in the center to make me look a little bit more pouty. And then I wasn't feeling it being super matte, so I did apply a gloss, as you guys saw in the intro. So that's all that I have for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Mwah.